Hi Sagittarius, how are we doing this week? All right, this is going to be your weekly from the 27th to the 2nd. We'll be having a full moon this week. No trigger warnings, I promise. So, in honor of the full moon, we're using the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck and just kind of get an idea what's going on. All right, what do we have going on? Finding balance this week. So maybe we're needing to find some kind of balance. You're probably going to hear my little dude in the background. But it's also about being real with yourself. Or just being real with the situation. So maybe you found yourself in a situation where you feel like it's just kind of teeter-tottering. And you're needing to be real at the moment. You know. And that's part of finding balance this week. This could be actually all the way back to down to Libra season. All right. I just see the Wheel of Fortune there, so maybe things starting to come in your favor. You know, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could just be healing from toxic activities. All right. What do we have going on for my beautiful Sagittarius? You're going to hear his crazy videos. All the cards. There it is. Everything kind of teeter-tottering, maybe in your favor, you know, and maybe this it could be you just kind of standing your ground with that Ace of Swords. But whatever it is, I feel like you've been kind of holding on to some kind of burden, or, you know, maybe this week is just kind of feeling like a burden, kind of I can't say it, whatever, but it's definitely kind of teetering this week. But I do see you as the King of Pentacles. It's like focused on your money, stability with that 10 of Pentacles, knowing where you're going and how to build it. Very, very structured. And that may be what you're like trying to find the balance in, is that work and kind of that fun. Or even just kind of looking through illusions. Like, what is it that needs to leave my life? What needs to be cut out in order for some kind of transformation? But I really feel like whatever or whoever this King of Pentacles is, in a way, it kind of puts you in this reality of not really knowing. And that might be that burden that you're holding on to. And that could be the portion of being real. What is it you need to be real about? And what is it that you need to find the balance between in order to kind of even out that burden a little bit? And a lot of it has to do with you maybe putting your foot down with that Queen of Swords, especially when it comes to home life, finances, structure, and allowing yourself to transform that kind of world for you. And I say that because, like, it's kind of like a tornado building. It's like a whirlwind of action. It just kind of spins uncontrollably, you know? And then you have like the indecision about where you really want to be clear, or even indecision on clear communication. Allowing yourself to have some kind of clarity within something. A lot of players on your field. Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, we got the King of Wands. I feel like this could have been some kind of painful ending you had with somebody you thought had a lot of drive, passion, but they didn't really show up romantically the way you wanted to. It was kind of like neither here nor there, kind of a childlike, playish, playfulish type of energy. And it kind of left you in this mood where you felt like everything was kind of unstable and it wasn't really building anything structured or even solid at that matter with the Emperor in reverse. And you're kind of focusing on the regret of a situation when really you need to be real. The universe is telling you to stand up, get up, and keep on moving. It might be some kind of heavy burden to carry, but it's really about kind of facing that fear and being honest with yourself, knowing that you can be that King of Pentacles. And this could be like a financial situation, maybe a loss of a job that you're going through. This could be a loss of a relationship. But I feel like the more that you kind of own this Queen of Swords and you're very precise in your communication and you set boundaries, maybe you needing to set boundaries with yourself, starts to transform the foundations that you start to build for yourself. And I really like that with the Death card too, because it definitely, I feel like, turns something within you. It's like a different type of structure, but it's really about a decision on where your clarity lies, or even where you want to put that action or movement in. But first you have to be real with yourself. What is it that you feel like is taking too much of your energy at the moment? And it could be you really just kind of working through emotional upheaval at the moment, or just feeling like you have too many options around you that you need to kind of break free from. But ultimate goal is your own happiness, your own peace, your own awareness. And it really just depends on you. You got to make that judgment call, or you got to reach out and be quite honest with yourself, with the Hermit, about what it is you want or what you're willing to allow in your life. So definitely finding balance this week within a situation, whether it's a new job path or even a new relationship at the moment. It's definitely kind of looking at knowing where you're going with that King of Pentacles and kind of driving your own boat that way. And I always say that because this particular King of Pentacles kind of knows where he's going, but he's also on the water. So it's navigating through those emotions and those tides also in order to build something stronger and solid. And I feel like embracing fear, embracing the unknown, is kind of giving you this push to be that Queen of Swords, to set those boundaries and to keep pushing from there. And then we have growth and structure and abundance coming in, and some deep transformation. It's like a whole 360 cycle. But you have to make a decision, and you got to be very, very clear, or I feel be very real about it, especially when you're holding down a lot of different burdens. All right. That's what I have for you, and we're going to move on to the love portion. If you guys do enjoy these, please leave me a comment below. Let me know. All right. What do we have going on for my beautiful Sagittarius? It's going to be love here. What is it they need to know for their higher good? All right. We have sacrifice. Giving up something now for a future reward. So what is it that you're sacrificing right now? And then we have balance. Again, look, it's all about balance this week. I feel like if you're sacrificing something, or maybe you need to sacrifice something in order to balance something out and find a little bit more time with yourself. And that really takes kind of evaluation, deciding what you need and what you don't need, with evaluation there. And maybe you need to feed out those things that no longer serve you. But it also requires action. And I think that's working through whatever you need to. I feel like this is more about you than anything else, but definitely need to find some balance this week. Maybe you will have been juggling too many things, especially with that 10 of Wands being there. What do we have going on? I just want to pick some. I'm starting to get hungry again. It's a choice. It's a decision. You know? You know, what is it? What loads are you willing to work for? With that 9 of Wands. Oh. Into something solid we build. And there's the Sun. The 6 of Pentacles. And there's that Ace of Pentacles. I like that. It's going to be about perspective this week. Things tipping in your favor, in your own scale. You know, the things that make you happy with that 9 of Cups. And allowing those dreams or aspirations to come out to the world. But it starts with a choice. What direction makes you happy? What direction makes you feel seen? What direction makes you feel heard? You know, what is it you're willing to give to? What is it you have the energy and the effort to give to? And what isn't giving back? What to you is worth building? What is it to you that makes you feel like you're getting something back in order for you to keep going? And I feel like that's kind of the energy for the week. But a lot of it's about perspective and really being real about what in your life is needing to be sacrificed, or what in your life is it something that you need to give up in order to not juggle so many different things all at once. I'm not taking reversals this week, so I feel like it's definitely balance. So much balance. You need balance. But it's also about trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and trusting your gut, and communication. You know, maybe you need to slice through some stuff in order to get to the real stuff. And I always say that because, like, he's just this little bitty guy with this big old sword, and I always picture it just falling and slicing through stuff. And I feel like this is maybe about options or opportunities that you feel like you're going to miss out on, when really you need to be super clear with that Ace of Swords about what options and opportunities are going to be good for you. All right, that's what I have for my beautiful Sagittarius. I wish you guys all the best, and hopefully I will have your monthlies out within this week or next week. All right, bye guys.